Hey everybody, so I am working with Bella today. She is 5 years old, amazing dressage prospect, and she's getting started a little bit later in life, but she's super cool and it's going to be very well worth it. So sensitive mare, and just kind of teaching her self-regulation like we do with the other horses. So what I'm looking for is just for her to, we've done some stuff with her on just how to kind of calm her mind down a little bit and start to be more trusting of me and of herself. Is the big thing is that she's got to be good with herself and not wanting to go to other horses. And when she came here, she was very much wanted to just be around the other horses. And so we want to make that bond between her and I better, but also the bond with herself and that self-confidence better, so she doesn't feel like she has to be around other horses. So I really love the fact that she's interested in things. She's very much a horse that is very curious, which is going to make her a really good partner, because as she builds that confidence in herself, it's going to just come out more and more with the partnership that we have with her. So I like umbrellas, I like tarps, I like anything that will be a little bit different in the sense, and things that they might really actually encounter. And so umbrellas they might actually encounter. So I want her to not have a reaction when I do things like this. And I don't mind her being responsive to when I ask her something. So if I use this umbrella then as an aid to move off of direct pressure, she'll understand that. So it doesn't matter what I'm using, if it's a flag, if it's the rope, if it's this umbrella, they really start to understand the difference of self-regulation. So I can have that here. I can ask her to back up with it. And then if I go to open it, it doesn't even really phase her. So she was looking at a horse over there, didn't even think about the umbrella here. Got a new big gray horse in, he's pretty handsome, so she's kind of digging him a little bit. So I want to go, how quickly can I get her back over here with me? But as we go through this process, remember, it's super important to understand that we're not trying to desensitize our horse from things. We are trying to get our horse to be able to self-regulate. What's the difference? Well, in my opinion, desensitization, or a broke horse, is one that really is just kind of there, right? A lot of these old school ways are that you just flood the horse and you just sack the horse out until they just don't care about anything. Well, I want my horse to care about things. I do want him to think about things. I want him to be able to communicate with me and not just be a servant to me, but to be a partner to me. And when you want a partner, your partner is not going to be someone who just is a yes ma'am, no ma'am, or yes sir, no sir type of a relationship. And I'll just do whatever you want. Just tell me how and how big and how small or whatever. So it's very important when we develop these relationships with our horses is that we have a good relationship where it's communication on both sides. We are still going to be their leader, but we want them to be able to help educate us as well. So she's getting a little close. So with her, when you have a horse that is insecure, they typically want to be close to you. And so you don't want to just be like, stay away, stay away, stay away all the time. We want to be able to say, hey, this is my boundary right here. I really appreciate that you want to be close to me, and I will still give you love, but I want you to stay back here when you get this love. I want you to stay there. And so as we go down that road, remember to self-regulation. So see how she wants to keep coming? I'm going to back up to this for a second. So I don't want her to think that I don't want her near me. I just want to have boundaries with me. Right now she's a bit of a close talker, and she just wants to be right there all the time. And so I want her to be able to, so she was thinking about taking a step forward, so I'll ask her to take that step back. I'll bring up my energy until she understands what I'm asking, and then I'll bring it back down. So I'll say, nope, I need you to stay right there. See how she just wants to be in my pocket? So I'll say, we can still have this great relationship, and I can still pet you from a little bit of distance. So as we work on these things with these young horses, remember, anytime you miss something, anytime you don't dot your I or cross your T, it's going to come out later in training with them. So if you just want to bypass this, get on walk, trot, canter, think you're going to do everything from under saddle and really teach your horse self-carriage, I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen. There's no way that you can teach your horse self-carriage and to be confident on their own without incorporating bridging it from the ground to saddle. And for each horse, it's different on how much time that takes, because we want to make sure that they're going to be safe when we get under saddle, and that they are going to be the best partner for life. And if we don't do all that foundation work, so I'm going to make my energy a little bit bigger now and ask her just to stay there. So we get a lick and a chew. So anytime she thinks she's going to come towards me, I'm going to just bring my energy back up, and I want her to realize, because every time she creeps up, she's just like, it's hard to not go, oh, well, she's just so loving. And she is, but we also have to have this boundary, because what this makes her want to do is be with other horses and then start to depend on me or depend on who's going to be riding her. And we don't want a horse ever that's going to depend on you for anything in life. I mean, clearly they have to depend on us when we put them in domesticated scenarios, because who else is going to feed them and clean their stalls and take care of them and when they're sick. But when it comes to a dependence of partnership, we want her to be independent. So stay tuned for more with Bella as we work through this. It's pretty cool. She's a pretty cool horse. So she's moving around now. So I'm just going to ask her to kind of back up there, stay there. Good girl. And as she kind of relaxes down to this, good. I know the flies are kind of bad today, but doesn't mean she can't stand there. So for a minute. Good girl. So anyway, stay tuned for more with her, and take care. Have a great